Well, hello. Once again, I'm here saying long time no see. I'll be honest, don't really have a reason for filming. Like, there's nothing particular I'm here to talk about. I've just had this feeling that I wanted to come back and post content, of which type I don't know. I don't know if I want to talk books or I don't know. I just know that I want to. So I dug out the tripod, the camera, the box light, because you know, I paid money for these things, so I may as well fucking use them, especially given my current life circumstance. Maybe we'll talk about that. But yeah, I just wanted to come and say hi, I guess. I think I was really unfortunate that so many different things happened all at once for me, and it just made everything get pushed to the side. You know, 2019 I was doing pretty decent with my content creating. I was really enjoying making content and I liked what I was putting out. I was going to fucking America for BookCon and then down to London for Yalc in 2019, and I really had big hopes for 2020, which is laughable now, isn't it? I was diagnosed autistic in the summer of 2019, pretty much in between BookCon and Yalc. I'd sort of decided 2020 I was gonna take that knowledge and try and learn more about me, because you know, even though when you know there's something about you that's different and you just don't feel right, you don't feel like everybody else, kind of having it shoved in your face like, hey, you have this neurodivergence and you didn't fit in with everyone else, but you put a mask on to force yourself to fit in, and now you kind of need to not do that because like this isn't you. It's hard because you start questioning who you are, and I still am to this day. If you say to me like, oh, who are you, what are you like as a person, what do you enjoy, I will sit there and be like, because I don't know, you know, like, oh, I like books. Do I like books, or was I always told as a kid I was a bookworm and so I decided I must like books, so therefore I'll just do that because that seems to be something everybody thinks is okay to enjoy. I'm 26 and I look at the piles of books on my chest of drawers and in my cupboards, because I don't have a bookshelf with books anymore, and I go, do I actually like reading? Or did someone tell me I liked books and then I just went with it? I got a job in Waterstones because I was looking for jobs at a local shopping centre, and they had a sign in the window and my mum said, oh, you like books, let's go in there. And I was like, yeah, I like books. Hadn't read a book outside of school in years, but I got the job. And then one of my colleagues told me about BookTube, and so I started a channel. Did I like books and making BookTube videos because I found people who felt the same way and didn't ostracize me for it, and they welcomed me and made me feel like I belonged? I don't know. I do not know. But what I do know is whether or not I actually like books as much as I projected I did on the internet, I did and I do like the community that I made. And I miss it. And I guess the reason that I want to make this video is because, I mean, I've had a YouTube channel for most of my life. Like, I'm pretty sure there are videos of me as like a 10-year-old on this website. That's a really scary thought. God knows what those videos are, but I'm sure some exist. I think this channel has existed for at least 10 years now. I'm sure it was 2013. And I believe it was 2014 that I turned it bookish and made book videos on and off. And it's just, it's always been something I've done. And so maybe that's why I want to come back, because even if I don't like books, I think I do. I've read 30 books this year, so surely I must like them to some extent. I've always liked making videos and posting content online, and so maybe that's why I want to do this, because it's a part of me that's always been there. I don't know. I guess I stopped because of that feeling. That, if I'm honest, I've only really just kind of clicked on just now is what it was, that questioning everything about myself. And, you know, there were a lot of factors. That could have been part of it. Obviously, COVID was a big part, was a big stressor. I also was going through just being diagnosed, but also my granddad died very suddenly at the start of 2020, and I was spending a few nights a week at my grand's house, and then they announced the 3-week lockdown. I remember sitting on her living room floor with a carpet older than I am, and it came on the news and it was like, yep, we're gonna shut down for 3 weeks, like, don't leave your homes, basically. And I said to Gran, do you want me to stay here with you? She was newly widowed, on her own, extremely clinically vulnerable. She needed to have some company. And that 3-week lockdown turned into 3 months. And 3 years later, I'm still here in my grand's house. The difference is now is that it's my house, because at the start of this year, my gran moved into residential housing. Her health just wasn't doing great. The house wasn't good for her. And although she was very reluctant, she is now very glad that she did. She is doing so much better. She's socializing with people. She's now going out and about. She's also walking, which obviously she could walk, but she always chose to use her wheelchair. She always wanted us, if we got her out somewhere, she wanted pushed in her wheelchair. She was adamant she needed to use 2 walking sticks or a walker. And now she still mostly uses 2 sticks, but I've seen her walk around her little flat with nothing, no aids. And it's just been, it's been so good for her, and it's so good to see. And yeah, now I have my own place at 26. So it's been good. And then it wasn't so good. I want to talk about this situation, but I also know it's a topic that far too many people with absolutely no experience or actual understanding of have incorrect opinions on. And I know you can argue an opinion can't be incorrect, but you can. And I just know if I talk about this, even though it's one of these situations where people need to speak about it so that we can have it change. But as I say, too many people that don't have a clue what they're talking about want to talk about it. Basically, I'm in a pretty shitty financial situation due to a loss of income, a wrong loss of income that I have fought against and won, and they are still pushing back on. So it's not great. And I don't know, I feel like this situation has made me realise that I wait for the perfect time a lot. You know, I'm always like, oh, I'll do this at this point and I'll do this at that point. The amount of times I've said I'm going to write a book and actually work on it, and I could talk about the barriers that my disabilities have on me being able to do that and how ableist the publishing industry is, but maybe that's another video. There's some content idea. But I would always say, oh, I'll write my book for NaNoWriMo, and then November would come and I wouldn't quite be ready, and then I just wouldn't do it. I'm doing it right now. I actually have a book idea, like one I'm really keen on, which I think is for the first time in my life. Like every other book I've said I'm gonna write, like I've never really cared about what the plot was, which is never gonna go well for a book. But this one, I feel it in my heart. My main character is always just there. It feels different. But I keep telling myself I'm not starting yet because I'm too stressed at the minute, and I don't want to write it in my bed. I want to wait until my little office area is done, and we'll see if that happens. But yeah, I've learned, without being so pessimistic, life will kick you while you're down, and it'll kick you when you're on your way back up. And so there's no perfect times. So instead of me sitting and being like, oh, I want to make videos again, but I don't know what to make. Like, this is the thing, I don't know what to make. So I just sat down and filmed something, because at the end of the day, doesn't matter what you're making, just make something. I guess. I don't even know. I feel like I started this really eloquently, now I've just lost it. But yeah, I've wanted to come back and make videos and connect to that pre-COVID side of me, I guess, I don't know, and connect with you guys again, whoever's still kicking around, or whoever new is finding me from this. Hi. Welcome. And I could sit and wait for inspiration for the perfect type of content, but it's never gonna happen. So, you know, maybe I'll talk books. I definitely will be talking books if I make content in October, because if there is one thing that will keep me latched into booktube, it is Ladette M, Hannah and Gothtober. I was gutted last year. I was so on track with Gothtober. I was doing so good. And then I got COVID, so that was a fun. COVID's ruining everything. Gothtober will always keep me coming back to booktube. I'm not saying I'm a booktuber, and I'm not saying I'm going to be here with wrap-ups and TBRs, because I feel like I've read nothing this year, but I've read like 30 books. I think most of that was at the start of the year when I was trying to get back on my bookish bullshit for Gerbitathon, which is also by Hannah at Ladette. Basically, it's just Hannah. Wherever Hannah goes, I will follow. So yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. I've been making some TikTok content literally just this kind of last week or two. I've started posting some things, sort of montagey vlog type things, because I used to enjoy doing like my weekly vlogs on here. I just don't do enough. I don't leave the house enough, although I am on 2 committees now. I'm being an adult that does things in the real world, which past me is going to hate me for saying this, but I highly recommend getting involved in your local community and going out and doing stuff, because it has actually been quite good for my mental health. Next thing you know is I'm going to start going on walks and telling you that exercise is good, so I do apologise if I become that person. Oh, anyway, I feel like we are starting to descend into my usual chaos, so I'm gonna leave it here and basically just, you know, say hi. That's kind of why I've been here, there and everywhere, and I'm probably still going to be here, there and everywhere, but I'm not pretending like I'm gonna have my shit together. I'm not gonna sit here like I have before and pretend I'm gonna be on a schedule and, you know, every Tuesday I'm gonna post this and I know I've said in videos before, like when I've done this, oh, I've been away but I'm coming back, oh, you'll get me when you get me, but then I never post either. So I don't know if this is like my annual check-in or my biannual check-in, or if this is the start of me actually posting semi-regularly. I hope it is, because I actually really enjoy making content. I'm realising that. I really enjoy it. I am losing my mind now. I need to turn this light off, it's too bright. But yeah, it's nice to check in. I feel really like I'm like cheesing away. I'm so like, who knew? If I had known sitting in front of this camera and just talking for 10 minutes, 15 minutes was gonna make me feel so much fucking better, I would have done it 6 months ago. I don't even know when my last video was. It could have been 6 months ago. I don't know. So yeah, thank you for improving my mood for the evening. I'm gonna go to bed. Actually, that's a bullshit and lie. It's 10:20. I'm halfway through an episode of Criminal Minds. I'm gonna watch at least one more after this half. I'm tired. I'm getting delirious. Oh my god, I have to edit. Oh, see, I've remembered the problem I have with YouTube, and it's the editing part. However, I do now have Premiere Pro. I didn't go out and pay for it. I don't have the money for that. I got like, my mum got like a student offer thing. I needed to get Photoshop for something, and I ended up just with all of the Adobe. I don't know, but I have Premiere Pro. That's gonna be fun. I can guarantee you I'm gonna end up editing this on iMovie because I know how to use it, and I don't know. Anyway, I'm just blabbering now. If you've watched all of this, thank you. I'm gonna say I'll see you guys soon, because I feel like I will. Because even if I can't think of content, I can just sit and talk. I can talk all the time. That's not a problem. I can't even remember how I used to say. I used to just go bye. I don't know. I never know how to end a video. Some things never change.